Welcome. This is 8th grade U.S. History, and I'm Mr. Young. I want to take a couple of minutes before we get started and give you some nuts and bolts about the class. Students are going to need a binder, 1 inch, not bigger. If they don't already have one, they're going to need 8 dividers, and this is how we're going to set it up our class. So if they don't already have this, they need it immediately. Another thing we're going to use in the class are note cards. They need to start out with a pack of 100. If you might as well get another pack because we're going to need 200 total. They can choose to get an index card holder. Makes it a little easier to manage them. This is not required. Rubber band works pretty well is also, but these are going to be used to study with. They're going to be pretty important, and it takes a long time to put these cards together, so it might be nice to have something a little more permanent. Some students have brought in something larger so that you can get all your cards in once. I don't have space for all the students to have one like this, but I do have enough space for enough students who wanted to have this. So this may be an option if you don't have the cards already. Other information, students get homework the first of every week, either Monday, Tuesday, whenever we start. U.S. History homework is always on blue paper. Sometimes it's a single sheet, but like on Monday, it's an actual packet of many sheets, and so we call it a packet, whether it's actually a packet or not. This is due every Thursday. It is to be done at home. They typically don't get class time to do it. This is literally homework. We do different activities in the class. Sometimes if they don't finish those activities, they're required to be done at home as well. Late work, if a student does not turn this in on time, all late work for U.S. History 8th grade is a 30-point deduction. Just for, not because they got anything wrong, it is a 30-point hit just because they weren't organized and to inspire them to work on that organization. Now, if we take a quiz, at the end of every week we have a quiz or assessment of some kind. If they get below 70, they are allowed to do corrections. Right now, correction sheets are on gold paper. It's a half sheet, and it's a writing assignment. So I just don't want to know what the right answer was. There's several steps that they have to follow here. They have to do them correctly, and it requires your signature. So if you see this, it's a quiz correction. Test corrections they can do test corrections for the same thing, but it's a full sheet of paper. So the test corrections are on a full sheet of paper. Okay. Some other things about this room. On the bulletin board behind you, there's a couple sections. One that says Great Grades, and those are sections, and I put those up. The Great Grades behind you, I'm really proud of those students. They, when I compared test scores, quiz scores from the very first quiz to the second quiz, 55% of my students increased their grade. The second quiz was a much harder quiz. They had to study a lot more, use the get-ahead videos. Many students jumped 10 points, some 15 points, but 9% of that 55% jumped 20 points or more on that, and that's all due to the amount of effort that they were putting in, so I'm really proud of them. So the papers that are on the bulletin board under Great Grades really reflect the amount of effort those students put in and their self-assessment of, they weren't really happy with the score that they got, and they put in the effort and their grades increased, so I'm really proud of them and the effort that they put in. On the other side, it says in the news, and this is extra credit. It is not required, but my expectation for all my students is that they will do 1 extra credit assignment every 3 weeks. It counts as a daily grade, and it is simply a current event, and it can be about anything. I have things about sports, space, science, government, the Democratic National Conventions, and what they have to do is print the article, read the article, summarize the article. And then the second part is they need to connect the article to something that we're doing in class. So I have people talking about primary and secondary sources, mercantilism, colonization, exploration, all these concepts, but they're connecting what we're doing in class to the article and they're writing about it. They can do 1 every 3 weeks, that's my expectation. And tomorrow is the last day to get them in for this 3 weeks, but that goes on all year. So this video is going to keep looping until we get started, so go ahead, you're going to see it again, and we'll get started soon. Thanks, and welcome to Mr. Young's U.S. History class.